Okay, so here we are on one of our Polaris snowmobiles, and we are going over changing a belt. Now, all of the snowmobiles, whether it's Polaris or Ski Doo that you're renting, essentially change the same way. They may look a little bit different on the secondary clutch, and I'll show you where that's at in just a second, but essentially the changing process is all the same. To open the side panels on the Polaris, so you just do a quick left turn on each of those quick links, pull the little rubber strap here, and it's a little bit stiff. Don't be afraid to give it a little bit of a pull, but it'll pull and just open up like this. Now, to change a belt, you typically don't need to remove the side panel here on these Polarises. However, I'm going to remove it so it's a little bit easier to see inside the clutches. Okay, so on the Polarises, right here is a little zippered pocket. That's where your toolkit's going to be. You can just unzip that, pull that out, and inside of that zippered pocket is the tool that you're going to need. It looks just like this. Now on some of the Ski Doos, mostly the 550s, the tool looks like this. It's just kind of got a little T-handle. Both of them are threaded exactly the same, and they essentially work exactly the same. So we're going to use this one, which is common on all the 600s, including the Ski Doo 600s. And essentially you're going to take this tool. You've got your primary clutch here and your secondary clutch. The secondary clutch is the one that you're going to use the tool on. And on the inner part of the secondary clutch, there's one threaded hole. And again, some of the clutches look a little bit different, but essentially they have one threaded hole that this tool can thread into. And all you got to do is start that tool in there. You're going to turn it in. It's going to go in real easy at first, and then once it starts contacting the other side of this sheave, it's going to stiffen up. Once it contacts, you're going to have to just do another 6, 10, 8 turns, whatever it is, to open up that clutch and loosen it up. And you can see this belt dropping right there. As that drops, it's going to open it up enough that you should be able to just grab this belt and just roll it right off from the wheels. You're going to kind of rotate it around the front clutch here, just like that, and take it off. Now, with a damaged belt, essentially you don't ever want to cut these off, because if you do get in a bad situation, you can actually use the damaged belt as long as it hasn't started coming apart to get you out if you have a failure of your other belt. So we're going to set that aside for now. And then up here is where we've got the spare belt on the Polarises. You're going to just basically pull this out. Some belts will have directional markers or arrows pointing which way it should rotate. This one does not, so we're going to basically just take it and we're going to start around this bottom part of the clutch, work our way around the front, always starting on the smaller clutch first. Rotate it if you need to help get it in where it goes. And once you get it there, start at the top, rotate it around until it's on. Once it's on, all you got to do is take that tool that's all the way threaded in and unscrew it. Those clutches are going to close back up on that belt. As you unscrew it, this comes out nice and easy. I do want to point out that this belt is not sitting high in the clutches like it was before. Those sheaves have closed up on it. So what we're going to do is we're kind of going to rotate that belt, and we're going to try and kind of let it raise up into those clutches. It just kind of takes a few times of rotating it just like this. And we are essentially back where the belt is up on the top of it. Now at this point we should be able to put our tool away, put our spare belt or used belt back up in the spare belt holder, button everything up, and head on the road. Now, one last thing, if you do happen to have to change a belt out there, make sure to come back and let us know so we can get a new replacement in there. We can also inspect it, and we can go through a couple of different questions to find out if the burnt belt was something that you caused or if it was a part of just a worn belt and too many miles on it.
Okay folks, so here we have a Ski Doo Summit snowmobile. If you happen to be renting one of these sleds and you need to change a belt or access any tools inside the side panel, this is going to be the procedure you'll follow to do this. First off, the side panel has 2 clips to open it up. A top one with a little piece of plastic right here, and then the bottom one, which is all rubber. You just pull that out. Then there's a tab right here. You pull that out and pull the side panel up over this nub, this plastic nub right here. Once you've accessed this, you have your spare belt, and then the belt changing tool. This tool is the same one that you use just like a Polaris. It screws into the secondary clutch. We'll use that in a second. Your tool kit is right here located in this pocket. You can remove it very easily, pull any tools you need out of this bag, and it goes right back. If you have to remove this clutch cover, you do so by simply pulling this little clip out. There's a pin right here that you must get the cover up and over, and then down at the bottom it just slides out and removes out of the way. Then you have this off. Make sure you don't lose the clip. You can use that clutch changing tool that we talked about before on the clutch right here. There's only one hole that this screws into. You start, this will be very easy. Then you will contact the other side of the clutch, and as you push or screw it in, the belt starts sinking further and further down because your clutch plates are spreading apart. Once you get it in far enough, you'll be able to remove the belt with little effort. To reinstall the belt, you're just going to do everything in reverse order. First, put this belt around the primary clutch, around the secondary clutch, and start to screw this tool back out. As you do that, you're going to want to make sure that you rotate the belt frequently. Every couple turns, you give this a little turn so that the belt returns as far to the top of the clutches as it can as you're unscrewing this. That should be sufficient. Remove the tool. Make sure to put it back in the clutch cover. And then reinstall. Close your side panel back up after you've put back any tools. And you're ready to go.
Okay, if you've rented one of our two-seat GTX snowmobiles, we are going to need to show you where to get to the clutch and where the spare belt is. So the clutch is under this, just like on the other Ski-Doos. Open up, same process to get into it. Open up the two latches, pull down here, lift up here, and you'll access your belt area and your clutches. Similar process as getting the clutch off on the Summit 600s. You pull the pin here. You also notice your toolkit right here, but you pull this pin, there's a little post right here that's got to lift up over, and then as you bring it out, you're just kind of going to twist a little bit, and that'll come right out. There's two little slots that kind of, that two little posts fit in there, that you have to kind of twist it out and pull it out. That gets you into your belt, and the change out process on this is exactly the same as it is on the Polaris and the other Ski-Doos. As far as spare belt location on the GTX, right here is a little zippered pocket in the very back of the snowmobile. You unzip that, and your spare belt will be right inside of there.